Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I'm going to be talking to you about something that really helped me as a player. It's called the CAGED system. So whether you've been playing for 2 weeks or 20 years and you can go up and down the neck, soloing, if you don't know the CAGED system, I promise you'll be so happy that you watched this, because the cool thing about it is it takes a very small amount of time to learn, but the impact that it's going to have on your playing, on your creativity, and just on your ability to play something new. For example, we all get kind of just bored playing the same old chords or the same old licks. This can help you no matter what level you're at. It's something that I wished I would have known a long time ago, just because it would have opened up a lot more doors for me in terms of what I had the ability to play. So let's start off with what it is. What it is it's a way to kind of map out the fretboard and get up and back down it again and be able to do it in a way that makes sense rather than just having to memorize a series of frets and notes. So let's start off with, picture like the alphabet. If you know 20 of the 26 letters, you'll probably still be able to spell a lot of words, write stories, read, but if you omit just those remaining ones, it just makes it cause a challenge to your brain to have to think. Whereas learning this system, it allows you to be a lot more carefree and just follow kind of your ear, your heart, or whatever it is that you're playing, as opposed to having to think about where am I going on the neck and what am I going to play next. Okay? So, starting with what it is, you've got the C, A, G, E, and D. Those are the shapes. They go in that order not just because it's a handy acronym, but because it flows in that way. So, for example, what we're going to do, rather than just play them as we're used to, we're going to play all the same shapes, but we're going to play them in one key, meaning the dominant note. For example, in the key of C, we're going to play all 5 of those shapes with C as our dominant note. So here we've got C, and then we're going to move up to what's the A shape, but stay in C. Obviously I have to fret it here because I can't play it open like I would down in A. Stay in the key, right? Then we're going to go to the G. Now here's kind of a tricky one. We're not going to just play this huge full chord up here. One, it's kind of cumbersome, and two, it's just not common the way most people would play it. If you think of a G chord, you've got 3. You got a G here, a G here, and a G here. It's the same thing for C. Most people play it 2 versions of it. It's either going to be like this. You hear that one a lot in pop or country, just like so. And then you go to this one. This is the bottom one, right? So you'll hear that one a lot of the times when they connect the A and the G. Something like a. All that is it's part of the G shape, same C chord though, right? Now the next letter in the word caged is E, and that's just here, right? And then lastly it's D. So I'll try and get that so you can see it, but it's just the D chord. Obviously we have to fret the D string because of the new key that we're in. So you can take this recipe on any key on the guitar. So for example, if we're in a key of F, you take the lowest F that you can play, and in this case it's this one, and which is called the E shape, right? So E shape, C-A-G-E, the next one's going to be D. And now the next one, C, and then A, and you get where I'm going. You just cycle through the whole thing, right? So why this is cool is because if you're used to playing stuff like, for example, a popular turnaround in several hundreds of songs right now, all over is like we play any one you want, but one of the most common ones is like let's do a 1 5 6 4. All that means is if I'm in the key of C, I'm going to take the 1st, the 5th, the 6th, and the 4th note in that scale, the C scale, and we're just going to put chords to those. So you're used to hearing it probably traditionally if you were going to play it like this. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool, but that gets boring, right? Eventually you want to do something new. hundreds of songs that are popular are written kind of doing what I was just doing, but then when they become famous, it's all this cool embellishing stuff that they do on top of it that makes it sound so cool. So what we're going to do is just try a few different versions of that. So I'll start basic, and then we'll move on to just give you some options. So first off, instead of starting down here as a C, let's just start on this one. And oftentimes you're not going to play this whole big bar chord. You're going to have fun and just do various ways of playing it. I prefer to play it like this. Same exact progression, but I would do something like this. So all I did there, and we'll go into another one and we'll just keep building here, I just took the E form, or that E shape of a C chord. Instead of playing like this, I like my thumb. And the reason I like my thumb is because it allows me to embellish a little easier. Plus, just the style of music I play seems to call for that. Keep in mind, guys, all the embellishments that you do on these chords down here, they still work because we're doing the same chords. So when you used to play E, all that stuff works here. Same thing with the A. Now here I go to it's the D shape of that A, but it's since it's the 6th chord in the scale, 6 is always minor. So rather than playing it, like this, it'd be just like a D minor would be played. So we're doing, and then lastly, that's that A shape, right? I moved up to the G shape too, but that's the A shape. So now let's do it, like if I were to do it on a second pass, you don't have to you used to have to go all over the place. Well, now you don't have to. You can stay all in one spot if you want and let your ear guide you. So if you go down, it's because you rhythmically are hearing that versus that's the only chord shape you have available to you. So an example of that would look like, let's just stay as close as we can in one spot, and then let's go down and throw some embellishments on it, okay? Second pass, let's change it. Go down. So all I did there, if you're not used to kind of noodling around like that, that's so much easier than what you'd think because it's all derived from those shapes of the chords I'm doing. So starting with the second pass that I did, since we walked through the first, same E shape of this C chord. Now my ear, instead of going up, I decided to go down on the second time because it just adds, color. And all I did was kind of a walk up because that note blends really nice into the next chord. I didn't play the chord, I hit the root note. Because now I can embellish, and all I'm doing from this embellishment, that's just coming from this, a C minor 7 or a C minor chord, right? If you end on that, then I went to this, and this is, I did that little, and those again, if you'll notice, those notes are right in the chord. So here you got this chord, F with the E shape, and then we're in the E shape. The next version of it would be the D shape, which is this one, remember? So I started and ended on notes that are right within the chord. I simply found a nice connector in the middle. So that's what I'm doing. So what I would say to do from a kind of an action item, or just to really help you get better at this fast, just play the CAGED system up and down the neck in several different keys. Get familiar with it. Start with just the major chords. Then what we can do is move into the minor chords. Put them into songs. So for example, the one that we chose, pick any song that you want to do and find ways to, one, keep it all as close as you can, and then move up and down. But every time you move up and down, pick a different shape of the caged system, and you'll be amazed at just some of the ear candy that starts to pop out of what you're doing, and you'll be so much more satisfied playing a lot of the same stuff. So if you're either, flying solo, you can have a lot more fullness to noodle around with, or if you're playing in a band, like say you're playing in a pop or a rock band or a country band, or even at church, and there's somebody underneath you, whether it's on keys or guitar, a lot of these chords will still work and won't clash, because you're no longer playing the same stuff down here like they are that's filling up the entire. You're now adding all this cool stuff on top that just makes it sound like money. So that's what I would recommend. If you like this, guys, I'd encourage you to please subscribe. I've got a lot more of these lessons that'll be coming your way, and make sure to share it with your friends that play guitar, because the more that it gets out there, the more that I can do. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this, and look forward to speaking again soon. Thanks, guys.